and we talk about the Lakers versus the Heat. So this was like an impromptu post game discussion, and we had some experts, our experts within our circle. You feel me? We got Big G over here, Fundamental G. If you guys don't know him, he's from the Thabo Squad. He wanted to jump on. He had some things to say, and he wanted to discuss the game a little bit. We got Big Surge, also here. You know, he's a resident. He's definitely a resident expert. You know, when it comes to sports in general. And we got, of course, Coach's Corner, Big Tito. You know, he's
Shout
always
out.
on here.
Shout out.
Shout
Shout out
out to
with it. You know
SVP,
what I'm
Silicon Valley Panthers. Shout out to
saying?
them, man. That's a clean looking shirt. You look like you on the team, bro. So every
Mhm.
time, every time.
That's a ball boy. That's a ball boy.
Damn, man, here it goes. Now, uh, so as I said, man, this is kind of an impromptu thing. We just decided to do this because, you know, it's always good to talk about the game, you know, afterwards. And you know, today's game, I mentioned to you guys, a couple of you guys, before Tito jumped on. That, you know, I was excited to talk about it, but dang, it kind of went south real quick, as far as like injuries and just overall the game itself. So, but the way we're gonna do it, we each got a couple questions. We'll go around, we'll discuss, and we'll just take it from there. So I'll start off with my question real quick. My first question was, so my first question was, so what are your guys' predictions now after we've watched the game, right? So we've seen what happened with today's game. We've seen injuries, like I said. We've seen dominance from the Lakers. Even though the Heat did start off strong, right? What do you guys think the series is going to end up as? You think it's going to be a sweep? You think that he's going to be able to take some? Yeah. What do you guys think? I will start off with Gerardo on this one.
I honestly think it's either gonna be a sweep. It's gonna. I don't know.
Damn.
Three players down and they're key players. So I'm just like, and the bench is still too young. You still got Harold, trying to learn. You got Duncan. Duncan was actually missing a couple shots. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just don't see the bench really coming up, stepping up so early
Yeah.
because they're just so young still. I think it's a sweep. It's just experience. It's just experience on LeBron's team.
Okay. What you think, Serge? G's calling it a
You know,
sweep.
my original take was five, but after the injuries today to the Heat and not knowing who's going to be healthy, um, but like Geraldo said, the experience of like Duncan Robinson, I don't think had any points today, which is
Mm-mm.
a big
Uh,
Uh,
liability on the. I
He
think he's a
usually shoot.
liability. Yeah, he's usually shooting, but I think he's such a liability on the defensive end, and I mean inexperience in the finals. I mean, it's. I mean, I might have to switch to four, but I don't see Lakers bench shooting like they did today. I mean, Danny Green hasn't been hot all
yeah.
playoffs, and he had he
Yeah.
he
A
made his
whole
first. I
bubble.
think he made his first three pointers. I think something like that.
Yeah.
And then what's funny, he went cold right after that. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick to five.
Five.
I mean, if Miami comes, if the players come back, I'm gonna stick to my five. But I mean, with the injuries they had, and if they miss, obviously it's gonna be. I think it'll be an easy sweep
Okay.
if the guys miss.
Okay. So some of the players come back. You got them getting one game.
Yeah,
All
yeah, I
right.
got him
I
getting
got
one.
you. Okay. All right. Tito, what you think, man?
shit. I think they're gonna go seven, bro. Yeah. I mean, I
All
think
seven?
yeah. That see, sir, still nah, cause hey,
Hey, he
it's
must have been
close.
watching a different
Nah,
game.
no, it's close.
I was
Nah,
gonna say
nah,
for real.
nah,
I was like,
nah. The Heat's coach, Eric Spoelstra, like he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Like you know what I'm saying. The big thing is though, like hopefully, it was Dragic. What did they say about Dragic?
Hurt
Like what
foot?
was his injury? Oh, just foot. Okay,
Yeah,
because it
foot
looked like it
injury.
was Achilles when I was watching it. 'Cause it looked
Oh,
like he's like you know what I'm
really?
saying. Like
Yeah.
I mean, when he took that step, like it's the same thing when Katie hurt his
KD.
shit.
Yeah.
You could tell like his leg like kind of like wobble. So it might if it would then shit I don't know because he's the number one scorer for the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt it big. So I mean if they full squad like I'm seven man. I
If
got
they full
I don't,
squad. What do you think like after today's game though? Like you still
what
think seven after today's game with the injuries?
yeah
Yeah. Okay. All right.
yeah
All right.
ooh, that's a great
How you
take.
feel about that, G? You
yeah
look like you feel some kind of way.
But I never
I don't
said
think he hit seven.
that
What's up?
that he's gonna win. Like
Yeah.
Lakers will win, but they're gonna put out a
You
fight.
think they're gonna
You know
stretch
what
it
I'm saying?
out all the way through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean they're
Oh
going. I mean
man.
it's not even that he's gonna stretch it out. The NBA is gonna stretch it out.
Well, okay, yeah, that
You
that
see
could
what
be
I'm saying?
the NBA could stretch it out, but
The
then that's gonna
NBA
be.
is gonna
Hey,
stretch
here's
it
the
out.
thing though: if all those injuries happen to the NBA and it does stretch to that seven, there's gonna be some questionable things going on. I'll tell you right now.
Hell yeah.
They'll be asking some big questions out there. Okay, cool. So we got a sweep from G, we got five from Surge, and we got seven game. Um, man,
Clippers and six.
Clippers in six.
Clippers and
Sorry
six.
about that,
Oh
man.
shit. Oh man.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Uh, hey
Um,
man. Hey,
Ben, where's that mute button on his
yeah, you want me to right click on him and just
yeah, right click his ass.
oh man. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm kind of in the same boat. So here's my thing. I understand where you're coming from, Tito, because Eric Spoelstra. I mean, you never know, man. He could draw something up. I mean, we talked about it before I hit stream surge. I mean, there are pieces there, that could make something happen. You said you watched. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, but you said none. Surge was doing a
Yeah,
little work. You know,
none came in and did work.
yeah, and when Oleg and Nunn came in, they said it. The caster said it like, oh, these guys can make a difference. Um, I mean, can we count can we count the Heat out completely to at least get a couple games in and
Gerard
stretch
said,
it out?
"Hell yeah."
I mean, bro, it's three key players. You have Dragic, Jimmy, and Bam. I was like, who other than that, like, who else is on the team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got Crowder and you got Dunn. You got two young guys who are only mainly shooters in Harrow and Duncan, and they're not really that much of
Mhm.
defensive players, so they're a liability up there. You have Olenek. He's not really a big guy like that to be guarding paint. He more like a
yeah,
stretch something,
yeah, yeah,
4 or 5, whatever you want to count us. So I'm just like the defense, the dogs in them, they ain't in there no more. You got three of those guys gone basically. So I think it's personally a sweep.
sweep. Still going with the sweep. All right, okay, all right. We'll go with that, man. We'll go with that. Uh, G, why don't you pick one of your questions, man? Which one you want to ask the group?
My one of my question was like, if this is a sweep, or if, LeBron does win it, do you put him up there next to Jordan? Is he a step closer to Jordan, or does like I said, does he pass Jordan as the greatest of all time? I personally think, since it is COVID and like there's a lot of things issuing around, I don't think he really passes Jordan. I don't even think he gets a step closer. I think he just kind of remains the same, maybe like in the all top 10, but like I don't think he passes Jordan up yet. If you notice that every legend has at least 5 rings, Kobe, Timmy, Will, Magic, Bird, Jordan has 6. Everyone has at least a minimum of 5, and then plus their own stats. Like points, rebounds, assists, whatever you want to call it. Finals MVP. I was like, LeBron only got 3. If he get 4, all right, he a little bit, maybe a little closer. Maybe he's not. I really don't count this season because it is like he really just forced everyone to play, pretty much.
All right, we'll go. We'll hit up Serge. What you think, man?
Uh, I mean, I think he'll never be MJ, regardless. Even if he wins 2 more, I feel like MJ is untouchable at this point. I mean,
Pretty much.
he, I think he's untouchable. I mean, if he wins this year, wins next year, to me, he's never gonna touch Jordan. To me, LeBron will go down as the greatest like all around player because he does do everything. I mean, like you said, the stats wise, I mean, his rings say 3, but his stats say 1 and 2. Especially when they showed today his stats in the playoffs, and he's 1 and 2, literally scoring 1, wins 1, assist 2. I mean, rebound 2. He does work, but it doesn't amount to rings. That's the one thing that kind of you're 1 and 2 in every category, but you have 3 rings. I mean, you should be. If he was Jordan, he should be sitting on what 9, 10. He should be sitting on what 7 rings. If you
Hey,
look at it that way, right?
yeah, yeah. And that goes back to the discussion of do rings make you like the GOAT? I mean, it's a testament, obviously, to your greatness, right? As a
Yeah.
player. But I mean, LeBron's been in the finals how many times now? He's had how many shots at it and all that kind of stuff. That's what a lot of people are talking about. Like, man, how many shots has he had at getting to that level? But like you said, man, if you look at the the kind of way that Jordan played and the way that he dominated those kinds of things and the way that he carried his team, it's a little bit different in that sense too. But at the same time, we talked about it, and you guys can see it in the stats themselves. The fact that LeBron is able to do a little bit of everything and be that all around player, it's just a different beast. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like I said,
absolutely.
he it's not like he gets there and doesn't do anything. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
when they gave Iguodala the MVP, which he should have got, what did LeBron average, like 35 or some shit like this? Some crazy ass
Yeah.
stat, right? That's when they were
Yeah.
talking about giving him the MVP. He should have got the MVP. To be real, if you're looking at it from a basketball standpoint, he should have took MVP home.
Right.
But I mean, I'm happy Iggy got it, but I mean, to call him the stopper of like the LeBron stopper at the time was just insane. So he does work. He don't have the wins.
Yeah. What do you think, T?
6-0. That's it. That's it.
That's right.
6-0.
Six and
That's
zero.
all you.
Uh,
That's it. Just
Not
put
even
it like
conversation
that.
anymore, huh?
Nope.
And it
six
would
and zero.
never, according to this, I'm guessing according to this group, because I agree with you guys. I don't think it's a conversation ever. I'm a guy about demeanor too, and we talked about this. You guys were going on, kind of going in it, and when we were chatting about it in the Instagram chat, demeanor is a big thing to me too, and um, I just can't stand. Like it's one thing to complain and ask for an explanation. It's another thing to get the call and still complain. You know what I'm saying? Which I see from him a lot, and that just irritates me, man. As a when we talk about greats and we talk about that kind of a thing, it's just your whole demeanor. But obviously great guy off the court, great athlete off the court, great philanthropist and all that kind of stuff. But when we're talking about on the court greatness, it's just a little off on my side of it. But that was a great question, man. I like that. Serge, what was a question you wanted to get answered?
So I guess mine would be kind of like Gerardo's. It was if they do win, and LeBron doesn't win MVP, does it tarnish his legacy? Like, does it go against him? Because obviously his legacy is pretty. You know, we just had a conversation about it, but at this point, not winning MVP, does he look at it a different way? Does he get like some kind of uh check for not winning the MVP, but we get winning the finals towards his legacy?
What do you
And
think,
let me
T?
let me answer that real quick.
Oh
So
shit, damn.
Oh, okay.
Curry,
You didn't even wait for me
like
to be like T.
Curry, like how he's portrayed, like oh man, like finals, he's a bust every finals, he never won MVP, but two of those finals he should have won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I mean, it's the same like with LeBron. If he doesn't win it, I don't think he'll do anything. Like LeBron's gonna be LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like one of the like we said one of the greatest player, but he'll never surpass Jordan because of the six. If LeBron and Jordan have the same stats on a championship, he'll go over Jordan. You know what I'm saying? If Jordan like would have went like 3-6 or whatever, or 4-5 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And LeBron went 4-5, he'll be better than Jordan. My thing, and then the same thing you're saying, Ben, like the way he acts, like on the court. I mean, like remember when Shaq was dominating with the Lakers? I said this earlier, like like how the ref said that we ain't calling fouls on you because you're too big.
yeah. He gets
And
that Shaq.
LeBron,
He gets that Shaq.
yeah, I mean, just play. Like you know what I'm saying? If they don't call it, they don't call it. Like you know what I'm saying? But you're big enough to like dominate the game,
Yeah.
then why complain? And then plus that little thing you told me that one time when he called the NBA, that kind of like
And next thing you know, how many free throws they end up
he
getting.
had 14 the next game. So I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, it's
but
one
yeah, I
thing
don't.
too. Yeah, I hear you
Yeah,
on that. That was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I don't think he'll do anything to his like legacy or whatever. He's still gonna be one of the greatest to ever play. Like he gonna be like Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, always gonna be that way. Like you know what I'm saying? For me, from my perspective, I don't think he'll ever surpass Kobe because Kobe's the next great thing to Jordan. It's like pretty much Jordan, but in a different body. Like you feel me?
Yeah.
Like he played the same way, he acted the same way, but he only had 5 championships instead of 6.
Right.
So, but I don't think I think LeBron not winning the MVP won't tarnish or like do anything with his legacy. Like I think he
It
was still
already
gonna
is what
be.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like he's just gonna keep playing. He can win 10, he's still gonna be number 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me.
complete package. I think we talking about, and yeah, that was crazy that when that happened, and it's crazy how the announcers even called it out and mentioned it. I know, I mean, it was a big story either way. Like, why are you gonna call? I've never heard that before. Like, somebody call and be like, "Hey, this dude didn't shoot enough free throws." Like, I feel like that's not even legal. Like, should that even be
Right?
is that legal? Like, can you do that? Like, you just call him and just like, or email him like, "Hey, he didn't shoot a lot of free throws last game. What's going on?" Like, I mean, that's just part of the game, right? I mean, especially at that level, I can see it happen on our league level, like like our little we pay to play. We're like, dude, what's going on? But damn, man, like you at that level, you still saying stuff like that. It's a little bit of a different feel to it. Great question, Serge. Right? My kind of made me think like, do you think all of those antics over the course of his career and the way that he carries himself in that sense on the court as a player, does that diminish and add to the reason why? And I think you kind of touched it a little bit, Tito, but does that maybe kind of diminish and tarnish that opportunity to be, one of the greatest of all time? Do you think that adds to it, or do you think like that's just what do you guys think? Uh, Maybe yeah, Gerardo, what do you think? Do you think like those kinds of things kind of
So like basically like it kind of does to me because like it's like well I hate comparing always to Jordan because it's that guy, but like he never really complained. He's just like, all right, so I got beat by the Pistons and they were just bodying me up down there. So my logic is I'm gonna put on some weight, I'm gonna hit the weight room and get stronger for next year. And then he never complains really. He's just like, I'm just gonna put more work in. That's pretty much it. He's not a complainer. He's just, I'm gonna show you on the court. I'm gonna drop 35 and I'm gonna destroy you by myself.
yeah.
LeBron's like, he ain't really gonna do that. He's just gonna be like, I'm just gonna complain because I've been getting everything I wanted since like out of high school. I've been having this nickname, the King, since high school. So everything should be going my way. And then like I don't know, it's just like you dude, like you're 6'9", like 250, like you're not gonna get every call. You're built like a freaking fullback. Like
Pretty much.
just take the hits. Like you're gonna get like yeah, you just gotta play through it. Like it's really what it is. Like you're that big and that strong. Like you should not be complaining this much. Just go out there and play. Like just dominate, right? Dominant player ever, complete basketball player ever. Just go out there and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's gonna question that he's a super dominant player. Serge, you feel like before we move on to the next question, what do you think? You think that kind of diminishes a little bit? Because I mean, you're wearing. Look, let's all look at the shirt that Serge wearing right now, real quick. He's a Dubs fan though, but it's all right, man. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? He's still represented. You can't hate it on the Mamba. And it's funny. Gerardo said prior, like before you guys jumped on, it's like how could you hate? Like I don't think anybody hated because you mentioned Serge in our chat uh, you don't get kind of why people hate like LeBron, I think it was, right? Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And we talked about it before you guys jumped on. It's like, uh, no, I don't think anybody really ever hated Kobe like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like Kobe was one of those guys just like Jordan. It's like you hated the fact that they were so good, but you still respected it. You know what I'm saying? You still respected their game, and it was
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
part of the reason why it was the way they carried themselves on the court. But how do you feel about LeBron and the way he carries himself? Does that diminish from his legacy?
I mean, I get what everyone's saying about how he cries, and he does. I see it. I mean, it's plain and simple how he does it. He don't get it. He literally takes 2 seconds to throw his hands up, scream. You can hear, especially in the bubble, you can hella hear him
Yeah, mic
screaming.
him up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They should. I want to see what he's saying.
For
But
real.
at the same time, I do think that, as in, they give him that treatment that Shaq got, like Tito brought up. So he gets the Shaq treatment. You're too big. We're not going to call foul. So at the same time, I get what you're saying, like, but then you got to think it's got to be annoying to be getting hacked and held and hit, and then I don't get a call because I'm big.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's just from, I don't know. I mean, from like, just I guess, in football, like when you take it to football, like just because you're a big dude, you shouldn't get, and I'm over here, I'm smaller, so do I get to face mask you, or do I get to do things
Right.
to you that the other thing? So I kind of look at it like that. And yeah, I get like, man, get your ass up the court. Like that was one of my things I hated LeBron on when I didn't like him at one point. But then again, I started looking at it from different points of view. Like, man, he does get hit a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I think I don't think he gets enough calls myself. Now, does he need to complain about it? Nah, get on the other side. But I mean, sometimes he does get pissed off and he goes blocks the shit out your ass off the court, off the backboard. But I think he gets that Shaq treatment. That's all I'm saying. He gets that you're too big. You're so big. You should finish. And if that shouldn't be a foul for you because you're strong. When if it was James Harden, we should be complaining more about James Harden's tic tac ass fouls than when LeBron actually gets fouled.
Right.
But the difference is, I guess James Harden doesn't cry up the court, you know.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have to because he goes to the line about 55 times a game. So
You got those guys like James Harden that kind of used he kind of abused the fouls, that ability to create fouls and those
yeah,
kinds of things,
it's kind of like on the other side of it, right?
Right,
He's,
yeah.
he's abusing it and going to the line where LeBron should. I think he should go to the line, honestly, more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand where you're coming from on that too. Yeah, that does make sense, I'm sure it is frustrating, for guys like LeBron or in the future, and just like Shaq, like you said. I mean, that's never a good thing to hear a ref say, "Yeah, I know you got fouled, but you too big, so I'm not gonna call it."
Yeah,
Like, bro, like what
and
the
you
hell am
know
I
they
supposed to
do,
do?
and you
It,
know they do it.
yeah, and it's confusing.
Yeah.
It can be confusing to you because now you're like, okay, I'm doing the right
Oh my
things,
god.
but am I gonna get the call?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times, even like towards the end of a game, sometimes that's crucial. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're down by three. You got only a couple seconds left. You're trying to create contact or at least be aggressive, to because that's part of the game. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, but a couple plays back or last quarter, they said I'm too big, so I'm not going to get this call. So is
Yeah.
this going to work out
Yeah.
for me? You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why that would be pretty frustrating. Um,
No.
cool, cool. All right. T, which questions you want to put out there, man?
All right. Who wins the Finals MVP? So if the Lakers win it, who wins it? If the Heat win it, who wins in the Heat side?
And we talking about like
Uh,
if they weren't injured,
I mean the Finals MVP, like whoever, whoever
whoever wins, yeah,
performed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you
if
just
the
talking about
Lakers,
straight up like if whoever wins right
yeah,
now, going
yeah,
right now.
like
Okay.
if the Lakers win it, who gets the Finals MVP? And if the Heat wins it, who gets the Finals MVP on their side? You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Serge, you want to hit that up?
I'm gonna go AD and Jimmy. Pretty easy.
That's what I was gonna go to, AD and Jimmy. Yeah, I mean you can't really go anywhere else on the Heat side, really. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I don't think
that's
so either.
pretty clear
yeah,
cut. It's
for
Jimmy.
me, yeah. Um, AD definitely he's been doing a lot of the work too. So, so you say the same thing, G? AD and Jimmy.
Uh, I got LeBron
Got
just
Bron.
because I feel like they would, because it's technically his team to carry, his everything like was on him to lead them to win. So it's mostly his storyline. So they would give LeBron the Finals MVP.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
go AD and Bam.
Bam Adebayo. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Bam. Like I feel like he's gonna have a breakout, like for the next couple of games. I mean, he hurt his shoulders, but I think if it doesn't bother him, I think he's gonna have a good game. Like for the next probably what, 6 games when they go to Game 7. Yeah, 6 games.
I hope so, man. Because from watching him
Shit.
today, I was like kind of wondering what was going. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, where he at though, yo? And even like, I mean, and the thing that you guys mentioned earlier was these young guys too. It's tough when your back's against the wall, or you're playing in those series, and you can kind of defer to some of these young guys. Like Hero had a couple good games, those kinds of things, but he looked nervous as hell today. And Bam looked like he was. It just didn't. It looked weird, man. And I could tell, that injury was bothering, obviously, and then him coming off. So it was strange, but yeah, I think Butler though. I mean, he's a man. Well, he's a dog, man. He's not scared of nobody, bro. Like, so that's why I kind of went with that. How do you guys feel about Adebayo? G, what do you think for
Like,
that pick
what do you mean? Like, how do I like?
Winning the
in the
MVP. Like if
MVP?
they win,
Uh, Not really. He's a guy that gets me like 15, 20 minutes a night. I don't know. I just don't see him winning. To me, it's really Jimmy because it's the same thing with LeBron. Like Jimmy came in with a story. He's toxic in the locker room. He can't fit in a team.
Yeah.
All this other stuff like outside noise, and then he comes, changes, fits in perfectly with the Heat, and takes them to the finals. So like, if anything, it's his narrative, his story to, you know, win this if he does win it, and he would get Finals MVP. It wouldn't be really when anyone else is, because Bam's just like he's not there yet. Maybe in a couple seasons he'll get a little bit better, but right now he's just basically like a super role player. He's not like an all star or anything. Any Goran Dragic, he's just he's just a vet on the team who just knows what to do. He's just an experienced guy. But if anyone's gonna get that finals on the Heat, it's probably Jimmy, because he has a better story too, and NBA likes that shit.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
like that stuff, man. What do you
And the
think?
thing about
Oh, go ahead.
hold on, the bench, the Heat bench are young.
Yeah,
You gotta
Mm,
consider that. Like you know, what I'm saying they are better. Like the bench is better than Lakers. Like talent wise, they're better. Hero, like all them, like none. Like
yeah.
they're better than Lakers. But the Lakers has the experience. They got Danny Green. They have Rondo. They have more. Like they have the
Experience is a
experience. So
big.
that yeah,
yeah,
especially right in the finals. So yeah.
You on the biggest. I mean, it's the bubble, but you still on the biggest stage. I mean, for a young group, this is like your perfect time to like shine because you don't got that crowd like giving you the shakes
right.
and all that stuff. You pretty much in the gym, getting to play and play for a finals. Um, so yeah, what do you think, Serge, about why do you think AD? Why do you think AD?
I mean, I'll go off AD. I pick AD because no one's gonna take him on that team. He has his way regardless today, even with Bam. And to go with Tito, I think he's correct. I mean, I say Jimmy, but when it comes to what he's saying about Bam, if they're gonna win the finals, Bam has to have an MVP finals
Hmm. Exactly.
because because if he doesn't stop AD or go tit for tat, it's gonna be a wrap. Which I think, and go to Gerardo, I think he's like you said, he's too young, he's too inexperienced, he's not there yet. He's a solid second player to Jimmy, but you give him a few years, he's gonna be nice. But right now, if Miami's gonna win the series, Bam needs to be MVP because he needs to go against. We know Jimmy's gonna show up with LeBron, right? I think if it went down to it, Jimmy. I think if it came down to it right now, I think Jimmy could lock down LeBron for like the last shot, right? Hold him to missing it or just interrupting him. But as far as Bam needs to have that series where he shows people like who's AD, like you know what I'm saying. I'm better
Yeah.
than AD, and that's what I mentioned that before to one of my buddies that Bam, this is Bam's out, party right here, party to shine, and I don't see it, especially with his shoulder. I mean, it looked
Yes.
like when he went up, he came down on Jimmy Butler's back, so then it looked like he did something to it. And even if he does come back, it's not enough for AD. AD's locked in right now. He's been locked in this whole playoffs. He's on that Mamba shit. Every time he says something, talks about Kobe. So he's I think he I think he's gonna take it. Like he's on that. Like I need to do this shit because he knows if they don't win it, it's not LeBron. LeBron's already has his. I think if LeBron wins or loses, he's gonna stay number three overall in people's eyes, right? Or number two, however you want to do it. But if AD loses, oh, he's gonna be killed.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't win with LeBron. Who are you gonna go with then? I mean, they can talk so much shit. So
Yeah.
he knows he needs to win it to keep his top tier shit.
Like his value. Okay.
Yeah, his value exactly.
Yeah.
But Tito's right. I'll go with. I mean, I'll second his Bam, but it ain't gonna happen. Game seven ain't gonna happen, or six, or Bam.
Or five.
Tito's got his
Or five.
ass. Or five. Shit. Hey, four. They might even just quit in three. Shit.
Fuck it. Lakers in three.
Just in three.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping Bam had a breakout, man, because I got a couple of his rookie cards, and I didn't even know who he was when I got him. So I was like, damn, I hope he has a breakout, bro, because man,
Yeah.
those rookie cards gonna get hot. But man, it's all good, man. It happened. Like you guys said, I mean, he has, like you said, Search, he got to be 100%. Like he got to be 100%
Yeah.
and more, to be able
Yeah, and more.
to do
So to
to
show,
be able.
yeah, to show up 70% game two, you're gonna get smashed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no way. I mean, 80%, bro. Like, I mean, you're going against somebody like you said that's locked in right now. Like, who
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I completely agree. Uh, so I do have a viewer question for you guys. So I got Zaki underscore RIZVI. He hit me up on Instagram. He has a question for y'all. So he wants to ask, what do you guys think about Miami's zone defense? Is it effective in the NBA?
All right, so zone defense,
Okay.
that's how you see if the team is connected. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to, I forgot who I listened to earlier. I was listening to somebody earlier, but they said that that's how you see if the team is connected. Because in zone defense, if you guys are not connected, it's not going to work. But for Miami, it's working. You know what I'm saying? I think they showed it with the Boston. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about doing that same zone defense with the Lakers, I don't think it'll work with the Lakers because AD and LeBron is just too smart. So like, LeBron will pick that shit apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, how connected you
Mm-hmm.
are, how well balanced or whatever, like your help is coming and stuff like that. LeBron will just pick that shit apart. LeBron is too smart, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like he just feel like he doesn't seem it all. Like, he always has something that can affect the game, or like, he will break down your zone and stuff like that. And AD is just a monster. Like, you know what I'm saying? You double, that's it. It's over. If you double AD, AD will dump to somebody, and then like what I said, LeBron's smart enough to tell other players to, like, this is what you do with his own. This is what you do. They double AD or whatever, then you cut. You this, you do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, for me, I think it works, but for the Lakers, I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, you can see LeBron like that's one thing that I do like about LeBron is you can see him calculating and looking at everything. You can see him. I mean, he's like his face. You could just see him like figuring everything
Mm.
out, what's going on the court, and trying to like counter whatever. And then he's willing to communicate with his guys. He's willing to pull people to the side and be like, hey, this is what's going on. This look what he's doing. This and that. And then that also builds on your team because now they can see what's going on, and you're building their IQ up too,
Yeah.
which is a huge thing. And yeah, like you said, Tito, with that zone defense, I mean, we all hoop. We know that in zone defense, communication is like the biggest key. Like if you aren't meshed with your team, especially imagine at a friggin' NBA level. I mean, these other people coming at you are gonna tear that thing up. Like you said, if they have more chemistry than you have chemistry, it's gonna be tough for that to work.
I
Um,
mean, the Heat has chemistry. They have one of the best chemistry or whatever. But LeBron is just LeBron. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
can't put up a zone with LeBron; they'll pick you apart. And plus, they have Ray John. Ray John is the same way. They have the same line. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You put two, like, like smart guys that can see the floor differently than other people, then it's shit.
Well, not even in. I mean, to go on that top of that with zone. Well, one, like you said, Ben. I mean, LeBron's the ultimate floor general. Ultimate. Like you said, when you seen him pass the ball to KCP, what do you yell at him? Catch the damn ball with two
yeah,
hands.
yep, yeah,
Yeah, right. But when it comes to zone, one thing that is about zone that's tough to do against is big men, right? So you put KD at the top of the free throw line, you jump into him, what happens? He either goes to the paint or he has a lob.
yeah.
So that's all they were doing, lobbing it up. So
Mhm.
they actually the zone ain't gonna work at all against the Lakers. They're gonna have to fix that and do are you gonna have to go man or something, because they're eating up that zone. It's,
Yeah,
it ain't gonna
easily.
work. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we definitely not gonna get to seven with that. We ain't gonna
You
get to
better
seven
switch
with
that
that.
shit up because I said seven, motherfucker.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Let's jump into a couple other questions from you guys, man, because you guys had some really good questions here. Serge, what was that? What was the second question you wanted to pick out of the ones that you had?
It's hard because all our questions were kind of answered through these talks we be having.
Yeah, no.
But my second one was how are the Heat going? What are they going to do at this point? Um, who's going to step up for them? Because when even with a solid Bam that's 100%, when you do take them out, they literally have no one to come in. I mean, you're going to rely on Iggy in his 25th year, or
For real.
you know what I'm saying, or Kelly Olynyk, he ain't playing no defense. All kinds of like who on the Heat is going to come in and give you that spark especially when Bam goes to the bench and AD's still on the court.
Ooh, that's a tough one for me to be honest with you, but I'm gonna pass that one on to Tito.
I so if so what I think what they need to do, they need to do something different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember when K Warriors played the Clippers? first 3 games, right? Who was guarding KD? You guys remember who was guarding KD the first 3 games?
against the
Pat
Clippers.
Bev, right? Yeah, against the Clippers. Pat Beverly was guarding them. So a
He
short
was
ass
here.
dude, and KD wasn't like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't used to I think that's what they need to do. I think they need to put Butler to AD, switch it up, you know what I'm saying? See if it works. And when Bam sits down on the bench, put Butler and AD. Butler's strong, you know what I'm saying? And he's
Yeah, but that was one game though. And then what KD say? What KD say when
three
they asked
games,
him
bro,
about
3 games.
what
I'm
they
Kevin
say?
Durant.
Yeah,
I'm Kevin.
exactly.
Yeah,
I could
but
turn and shoot if I want every time.
but I'm saying though, they need to do something different when
Yeah,
when Bam sits down to the bench. They either need to put a small like Chris Crowder, you remember when they played the Rockets, AD had a little problem with PJ Tucker,
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
which is strong. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And he
So
just bothered the hell out of him. He
yeah,
wouldn't let him get
yeah.
into his spots. Yeah.
Jimmy can do the same thing. So I mean, we'll have to see. Jimmy might be able to do the same thing. Like Jimmy's strong, he a pass, he a great defender, he's smart. So we'll see. I think that's my opinion. Like if what they need, when Bam sits down, that's what they need to do. Do something different. And so don't go with traditional big because, and like AD will eat him alive. He'll kill Olenek. He'll kill anybody that you put in front of him. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
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 So it's almost like it's not. It's kind of like a couple people need to step up. Um, it's got to be a team effort, I think. Especially, yeah, I agree with that too, man. It's got to be a team effort, from the coaching staff all the way down to the players. Like they got to figure it out. They got a different strategy has to happen in order for this thing to have to even have a chance for these guys. But gee, what do you think, man?
I'm like, it's gonna be real hard. I mean, you got three guys who say, let's say, are missing the next game. It's gonna be hard to strategize around that because those are three of your key guys, and that's like never really happened. Where like,
Mhm.
except for when the Warriors play the Raptors, and like piece after piece after piece is just falling. You see how hard it was for like the Warriors to keep up, even with just Steph. It's just you can't do it alone. It's so hard. And what they really need, if they were really going to play that zone, like how you guys were saying in the last topic, was they were going to need Bam because if they don't, if you're going to play that small ball lineup where you have like let's say like a three playing a four or four playing a five, it's not going to work because AD, like you guys said, he'll just kill him one on one, or you pick and roll with LeBron and AD, and it's just game over. So in a sense, I don't think the Heat have a bench player who can like other than like no, yeah, like I was gonna say, like they don't have a bench player who can like step up when like Bam sits down, or like have someone who's like versatile. Because I'm just like, he kind of really relied on Bam a lot for like when they played zone because he could actually cover up some of the perimeter, and he was a good like pick and roll defender as well. But as far as like, yeah, I don't know, shoot,
It's a tough one, man. Especially considering the
yeah,
fact that so many of them got hurt. So you're like still in the back of your mind, like, okay, if we think best case scenario, hypothetically speaking, if everybody was healthy, if somebody's gonna step up, after a game like this, who would do it? But it's in the back of your mind too, seeing all these guys, like you said, like the pieces fall. It's like, man, you just feel for the Heat, especially getting to this point. But at the same time, it's like it is what it is. You can't do nothing about it, man. Like I was telling you guys earlier, before you jumped on Tito, like these injuries, those injuries that happen, they look like freak injuries almost
Mhm.
to a point. Like I thought when I saw Butler roll his ankle, I thought that he got tangled in AD's leg, but
I thought it was his knee.
yeah, I thought it was his knee
I
exactly.
thought his knee
yeah, I
buckled.
thought that
I thought
too.
it
I
was
thought
like,
he
oh
buckled.
shit, that's it.
I thought it was that
That's it.
first step that his knee buckled, then he took the
Yep.
next step, and that's when it rolled. And I was like, damn, I didn't even see what happened. It's just like his foot turned and then just collapsed over and then rolled. I thought it was a tear almost the way it just rolled like it did. But to see him come back on the court, that's crazy. But I think all of us here have experienced that kind of an injury like that, for instance. I mean, and Tito, you're still reeling from one, even though you still
Yep.
keep playing on it. But with that being said, playing on it, even, you know what I'm saying, like in a couple days when they play again, I mean, he's gonna be it's gonna be stiff, it's gonna be tight, regardless what kind of.
Oh, they have injection for that.
Oh yeah, they gotta shoot him up with some.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. I was like, damn, during the commercial break they shoot him up. Like, nah, you gotta keep playing, bro. Like, we need these
The
ratings right
finals,
now.
bro. The finals.
Yeah, they didn't want nobody turning off the channel. But yeah, it's just it's in the back of your mind thinking about that. It's like, damn, man, you feel for the Heat. Um, G, did you have another question that you want to throw on there out of the three that you sent in?
I was gonna say, well, it was if like, well, I don't know, it's still a game, I
Still up
guess.
in there, yeah.
You never know if they come back next game or not. But if the Lakers were to lose, and do you think AD would leave? Because there were a lot of like rumors saying that, oh, after this season or next or whatever his contract was, that he was going to be out. He was looking at destinations like Chicago, or like somebody was going to pick him up. So if he were to leave, do you blow it up and then trade LeBron, or like what would you do? Because is this because I know one of our questions too when we had in our chat was this the beginning of a dynasty? I don't think this is the beginning of a dynasty either, because like it's more like LeBron like just forming teams and trying to get as much as ring as possible right before his retirement. So back to like the question was like, so if they lose and if AD does leave, do you trade LeBron, or if they win, do you think they'll keep AD and just go from there, or like what's the plan for the future?
That's a good question, Serge. What do you think about that, man?
I think AD stays. I mean, to me, he's the face of the franchise. He's the future of that franchise. I would say. I mean, it's the Lakers, one of the historic basketball teams ever. So for them to put him there and make him the face, I mean, I think you'd be stupid to leave anyways. And I think if they, I mean, shit, to even talk about them losing, I can't even see that happening.
After all this
So
three went
to
down,
even,
it's kind of hard to keep losing, huh?
to even speak on it, I can't. But I'm gonna say, regardless, he stays. And honestly, I think they add one more next year. I think they get rid of
Had
some of
another
these
big play.
pieces, like Danny Green's looking old. I don't think they keep him. I don't know what they do with Bradley. The fact that they didn't come with him. I mean, it might open up, and I could see a Bradley Beal, or they definitely need a shooter. They can add I see them keeping him, adding a shooter, and I think they win two more if they add to it. If they add to this
They
team
add to it.
for one more, yeah. If they add to it, but I think he stays. I think he signs that contract and stays a Laker.
T, what you think, man?
Yeah, win or lose, I think he'll stay. Yeah, I think he knows that. Like, I know everybody says LeBron's team, but I think LeBron knows that it's AD's team. You know what I'm saying? He's there to help AD. You know what I'm saying, to get to that level. And win or lose, I think both of them will stay. And like what Serge said, I think they do need to add another pieces. But the only thing, I don't think they'll get a superstar. Bradley Beal, I don't think they'll go because the money. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think that they're gonna have enough cap room to like sign, because I think Bradley Beal just signed for like hella money. You know what I'm saying? So they need like I don't know, like I said, like a shooting guard or whatever, or like a small forward that can like knock down shots when it's
Hey, well,
wide
who was
open.
LeBron? Who was LeBron talking to last series after the game? Jeremy Grant.
Oh,
Ooh,
damn. He was a little impressed, huh? He was a little impressed with him,
Yeah.
huh?
He was like, "Look, don't worry, you'll be over here next year. We got you, bro.
yeah,
We got you."
yeah,
Ooh.
cause
And he already
Hey, he
opted
did. He had
out.
a good
yeah,
series. He had a good
No,
series,
he
regardless.
had a really good series. I didn't
Yeah.
know he shot that well, honestly.
Bruh, yeah, when I was seeing him shooting, you wouldn't even, yeah, you wouldn't expect
Yeah,
that from him. Yeah, wouldn't
yeah.
expect that
So
from him.
that, like you said, there's another guy they can add at a price that they can afford. So
yeah,
Why not, right? I mean, you're talking about playing with AD and LeBron and then seeing them dominate the way that they dominate today, and that they're most likely going to dominate for the remainder of the series if it goes the way it's going. Why wouldn't you want to come play with them? It's just the same thing that we saw previous with other teams too as well. So yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you got another team over there in San Francisco building up some scheming.
mm,
Yeah, it's scheming lightweight, I'm sure.
yeah,
I was like, you go join that team real quick too. It could be a for that dynasty again all over again.
yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
I
when
want to go join that team.
You know when they quiet, that's a good thing because they got some stuff cooking, man.
They
I'm
texting right
sure
now, actually.
I'm sure they're gonna come out with something interesting. Uh, cool, man. Tito, did you have a question you want to hit up?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much ask it like Gerardo asked it already. If they win, you think there's gonna be a dynasty? Like you know how like dynasty like go
The
for like
continued
three or
on.
four finals in a row. Like what I'm saying. So what do you guys think?
Um, for me personally, I think, man, like Serge said, you got to have another piece, man, because you look at the Lakers and you look at their lineup. And for me personally, when I saw their lineup, I was like, damn, this is a crazy ass squad. Like it's almost like, who's gonna be able to stop these guys? But as you watch them kind of go through and you watch other teams kind of try to adjust, and have some success, I guess you could say, there are some things that they're missing, that they're gonna need. So if they go out and they start picking up other players, but at the same time, like when you build something like that, you do got to get, you you got to find those players that want to play for less money. They're going to take those roles, and I think that's important too. That's going to help you be successful continuously. And like we saw, like Iguodala was a big story back with the Dubs. Taking a lesser role, stuff like that. You're going to need to see that with them. But I think people are going to be. I think there's going to be players out there that's willing to do that. Um, what do you think? What do you think? G, you kind of answered it a little bit, sir. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think they're going to build something? Oh shoot, Serge,
You
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
serious?
Oh yeah,
Oh, you talking
Okay.
to me?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit.
So never a
I'm over here
second.
looking at who. I mean, if they add, if they, I think there's two things got to happen. They got to add somebody. Like I said, I think honestly, in my opinion, I think Getting Green, uh, Kuzma, and I think those two guys are gone for sure
You're not feeling the
next year.
coos?
No, I'm not feeling Kuz. They fucked up and traded the wrong guy away. Should have kept Ingram.
Hey, they might have
But
to get rid
see,
of Caruso too.
Yeah,
but
Trade
yeah.
like
value on him.
The bald
yeah,
eagle. See the
we'll
bald.
never know. We'll never know.
No, we'll
Like
never
what if
know. But Kuz didn't. He didn't live up to his. He didn't live up to what they kept him for. We'll just say that.
the
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, I
Not
mean,
true.
I feel you in that one, but like you gotta look at it a different way too. You gotta look at it like Bi is the star of the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? So he gets
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
He's
much
getting
get the
that
ball all the
LeBron.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's their
So
LeBron kind of
now
guy.
Kuz is a third like option. So he pretty much sometimes he probably won't even get the ball sometimes. Like you get the ball, he
Yeah.
won't get it
Or
Getting
that
the
much.
opportunities.
So
that's what
like
I'm saying. He might go somewhere and flourish and be a second option instead of a third
mhm.
option, or start instead of coming off the bench. So that's why I think he's not going to start. So I think you get rid of them too. You pick up a player, and if LeBron stays the same at year 18, I think they can make a run for it. But I mean, there's another team that is high, like you said, like we just said, is quietly about to come back. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying it. I tell all my Laker friends, and even then, even as a Kobe fan, I'm like, I want them to win it this year in Kobe's memory, for Kobe, because next year they're gonna have to deal with the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Because you don't think Draymond's hot and Curry and Clay are sitting there waiting to splash, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I don't,
eager to
I'm
play.
wait. I'm yeah. I'm just waiting to see what they do with this pick. Do they trade it? Do they get Wiseman? Do we get him? I mean, I'm just waiting to see what we do. I mean, obviously, our GM, the Bob Myers is ridiculously smart. So
Yeah.
it's do I say dynasty? Yes, but I think I don't. I'm not going to say dynasty yet, but I think they compete the next. They compete the rest of LeBron's career if LeBron stays LeBron. I mean, we never know. We've seen
I
we've
mean he
seen people
will.
go. We've seen people go from being they are what they are to all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what the fuck, what's
Out of
going on?
nowhere.
Yeah, and obviously in year
If you
17 he
put
hasn't showed it.
$2 million in your body, $2 million in your body every year, man, you better be fucking performing like a fucking robot. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
Yeah,
Hey,
So
there better be
shit,
some
you feel
robot in
me?
your body for
Right?
2 million.
yeah,
Yeah, you better be performing some kind of like way. You dig what I'm saying?
yeah. I
So
don't
I
see it
mean,
either. I don't see it either. But at the end of the day, we all felt it when we hit the ground that one day. We were like, oh shit, that shit
Like,
hurts
hold
a
up,
little
hold up,
bit,
hold
a little different.
yeah, man, put another like 3 million this year. So
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah,
gonna add. Yeah, it's probably gonna go up a little
yeah,
bit.
a
Gonna
little
double that
more.
up.
But I say they compete. I say they compete at least. because like I said, I still feel like the Warriors are gonna be back like nothing ever happened. But they compete. They compete.
The Warriors get they were built on chips. You know what I'm saying? Like the chips on their shoulders. You feel me? Like that's just
Hmm.
how they were built. They weren't given anything. They all had to come up. That's a big story with our Dubs is that they had to do that. But like you said, I mean it. And one of the things we talk about LeBron and longevity wise, when you see the way he's a lot smarter about his game. And he's a lot smarter about the way he approaches it. So longevity wise, he puts the 2 million in, and he's smarter, and he doesn't do. I guess you could say he's more efficient with the way
Yeah.
he approaches the game now. So he's not wild, and he's not putting himself in positions where he's really gonna get injured too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think with that being said, like he's gonna be dominant. He's gonna be a dominant player for I think a couple years. I don't see. I mean, you just can't look at him. And even if that old age bug hits him, it's still gonna be a different beast, like you know what I'm saying, than
Yeah.
a lot of the other guys. But I hear what you're saying on that too. Um, Gee, I don't think we gotta hear your question, your answer too much on it. You touched a little bit on your answer previously, but anything you want to add to that?
I was gonna say, I can't see it being a dynasty. I can see him like Serge said, like they just compete like about like every year or so, like how LeBron's usual teams usually do it. But I feel like there's too many teams coming back from injury next year. Too many teams forming super teams next year. It's gonna be a lot of like chaos going down because I know there was a lot of people whose feelings were hurt when their teams lost. So I know they're gonna be recruiting a lot. If I'm talking about Giannis to the Warriors, no, I'm just playing. But, but yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of people trying to like because they were so close, like with Giannis and his squad, they were just they were almost
They're
there.
never gonna get over the hump.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
it. No.
Yeah, like I said, he's either coming to us, going to a different team, or they're gonna have to pick up a superstar. But like I said, having that, like you gotta now, like I said, like you guys said, like if LeBron has the same team, and if they don't get that start, it's gonna be pretty hard for him to win. So like I said, like there's gonna be a lot of shifting in the league next year. So yeah, I can't see that being the dynasty. And you got the Warriors coming back, bro. Like it's I don't know. You can't count them out no matter what. You got Stephen Clay, Draymond. I was like, it's just I don't know. You just can't count them out.
Yeah. So we're talking about the finals. We're talking about next season now. We're talking about like when we say the Warriors and all these other teams building up. How do you guys foresee next season happening? Do you foresee them doing another bubble? Do you foresee them actually allowing the teams to go back? How do you guys feel about it? Maybe Tito, what you think?
I mean, it depends. Like, it's probably gonna be like 25, and then 50, and then 75. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll slowly. Most likely next season we'll have fans in the stands. Like, you know what I'm
No.
saying? Because football has fans in the stands. Some of the
Yeah.
teams or whatever, different states has fans in the stands. Like,
Okay.
but it's only like 25% capacity or whatever. So I think that's what's gonna happen. So they're gonna slowly bring in, like, 25, 50, 75. And I don't even think he'll get to the 100 until probably like in a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. But I think they'll go back to a bubble.
Okay, yeah. I think that's what they were talking about too, is that they're trying to get it back to 82 games, just do everything regular again and get back. So yeah, I think you're right on that, man. I just wanted to pick your brain, see if you guys heard a little anything on that. But I think with things the way that they're going, yeah, eventually they're gonna get back to normal, with all this kind of stuff, and then we're gonna see. Now, with that being said, the way that things are kind of going back to normal next season, the way things are changed now. One of the things that people have been joking around about is that this finals, this championship has an asterisk by it because it was in the bubble.
I was gonna
Um,
ask you that. I was gonna ask that if you didn't ask it.
yeah. So, what do you think, G? Do you think I think I already know your answer, G.
I
So,
don't. I've been saying this. This is a participation championship. Thank you
yeah.
for attending the NBA final for COVID. I'm like, this shit don't count. I don't count it at all. I'm like, there was too many people
Yeah.
injured, and then people had COVID, and then people recovering from injury who got like an extra like month or two. So I'm just like, imagine if they didn't show up, like who would really win, right? One thing I think I said earlier when we were hooping around earlier was, would it even happen if, let's say, LeBron brought back the league, right? Like how he was pushing for it, and let's say he had COVID.
Would
would the NBA still continue, or like the league just make something up to cancel it? Because that's their big horse right there, LeBron. So I don't know. To me, this is just participation. Like, thanks you guys for testing out the
the LeBron National Basketball Association,
yeah.
we called it earlier. The LeBron National Basketball. And it kind of makes you think. And I was telling you guys this earlier, like it kind of makes you think. Like when he's arguing with the refs, is he like, hey, you wouldn't have a job, right? You wouldn't be getting a paycheck right now if I didn't bring
Right?
us to the bubble, like, if I didn't push so hard. Serge, what do you think, man? Asterisk or no asterisk?
So you guys saying asterisk is like it's easy? Like this was like an easy finals, like an easy playoffs?
What do you think, Jay? Easy playoffs? Is that what you
Like
thinking?
are you guys it was like easy? Is that what you're saying? Like asterisk or is it like
So as far, I think we're saying like, does it fully count as in comparison to previous finals? Because it is a little bit of a different
well, yeah,
thing.
of
So
course. I mean, this whole thing is different. I get that across the board. But I'm saying, do you think it's easier to win the finals this year, or is it harder?
It's harder, I think.
I think it's easier.
You
I,
think so? Because there's no crowd, man.
I'm gonna
I was
go
gonna
You know
say
what
easier
I'm
no
saying?
crowd,
because
so it
But
really
it's
so
a
it can
neutral zone, so like that, like because when you play in the finals, like you depend on your crowd, like
Yeah, home
like
court. There's no home court.
home court. So some like if you're having a bad game or whatever, the crowd can cheer you up and then start getting you like going. But this one, like shit, like cheer
I
you
was
up.
gonna say that can
Your
go
mom
both
and your dad in
ways.
the side. That's it. Yeah.
I said that can go both ways because what you saw at the beginning of the bubble was everyone was shooting like a high ass clip of like 40 to 50%, and from people who don't really shoot that high, that's because like they weren't nervous. Usually, like you said, the crowd hypes you up for certain players, but sometimes the crowd that makes you nervous, and that's why you see
Mhm.
some people shooting. So like let's say like some people who like yeah,
TJ Warren.
I
Let's
mean,
just say
like
TJ Warren
some people will
from
be
Pacers.
scared, more scared in the finals to play at a higher stage, and now with no crowd, you kind of just like it's just really just like a practice run. You're just going up
Mhm.
there, going through the motion, putting up some shots. That's what I'm saying. I think it's
that's
a little
yeah.
easier for some fellas because the pressure's off of them.
That's how
Mhm.
I feel that too. Personally, that's how I feel like it may be a little bit easier because you're just really playing in a select group, like you said, your close family, especially in the biggest stage when it comes to the finals. Like this is where like your fans, come out and help you beat the team, right? But when you're the team on the back end, it's a little bit different. But like you said, it could go either way. There's some teams that feed off of that, but some teams that are young, that this could be an opportunity for them to not have to worry about being in that environment, that hostile environment with people yelling things at them. And we all know that these NBA players, they get abused by some of these fans, and
Yeah.
they don't have to worry about that. All they got to worry about is the team on the bench, and then maybe a couple of the family members on the side in that dang Michelob screen or whatever, saying with them doing
Mhm.
weird things and dogs and stuff on the screen. But obviously that, I'm pretty sure that doesn't bother them either. Um, so for me, I think it's easier in that sense, in environment sense, because I think they can
So with you
perform a little
saying
bit
it's
differently.
with you saying it's easier though, doesn't that make it harder? Because there's guys like that shouldn't be balling or balling that you
Yeah,
shouldn't have to worry
Mhm.
about. So it
that
makes it harder in the team sense. Like easier to ball for a solo person, I get it. But
right, right.
now that now you're doing team on team, it makes it harder because well, I don't got to worry. But
Now
why
the
am I worrying
level's a
about
little
this
bit
guy?
higher,
Yeah,
right? I
it's
see
a
what you're
little bit
saying.
higher. When like if they were in LA right now and it was going crazy, them rookies would be looking at like, oh
Oh yeah,
shit,
it'd be
this is
freaking.
crazy,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
therefore, you got cats that are balling that shouldn't be balling. So that's why I say it makes it harder. It's harder. And on top of that, we're all athletes, so you do your certain things that you like to do, right? I mean, you might have been doing some for look at LeBron, 17 years straight. He's been doing the same exact pregame, and all of a sudden he goes, "Damn, I can't go to the donut shop on game days," or I mean, or even get boiled down to I can't get none for my wife. Shit, like they celibate for 3 months.
I
Yeah.
mean, he can do the house thing, and what I'm saying, snuck somebody in the room and get kicked out.
Well, they got to bring some
Yeah,
of their family though, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
they did, so
yeah, that's the end.
especially in the
That's the
later
end.
game.
Yeah, but I just say at the end of the day, I think it's a harder championship to win in my eyes. I mean,
Yeah. I think
I
it could
get
go
what you're
be
saying. I
both
get what you
ways.
guys are saying too. Yeah, it's easier for players to play because
Mm.
the crowd and it's just like practice. You know, you got like we all say, we all got the friend who's a practice player, and all of a sudden you get in a game and you can't make a damn shot. You know, so
For real.
Yeah, and that's a fact too, because even some of these young guys that go in there and it gets quiet if they miss a shot, it's like it's all hella quiet, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
you see LeBron on the other side, like so. Yeah, it could go either way. It could go either way. I think it's at the end of the day, like you guys said, it really depends on the player first and foremost, what they're used to, but then also their perspective of the game too, like what is gonna fire them up, or what I mean, like
yeah,
what gets in their head. Um, Players like LeBron and AD, those guys sometimes they feed on like Kobe Bryant. Um, for instance, we bring him up. Uh, he said that when he was in a hostile environment, it made him play better. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he said, like hearing the boos, that actually made me want to play better. That actually lifted me up. So he's like, while they're booing me, they don't realize that they're just amping me up, like
yeah.
to another
Energy,
level.
yeah.
Right.
And that's
So,
another thing too. I think it's harder for the guys like LeBron, like AD, like Kawhi, like the guys who are normal to this shit to play in here than it is for like the guys that are the rookies or the guys that don't really aren't on that level. It's easier
right.
for them, and it's harder for like you said, Kobe. Because he needs that energy. He needs to feed off something.
Yeah.
You know.
I also think that's when like experience just kicks in though. Like, oh, we like it's just to them when they go in, they don't feel the pressure of the finals anymore because it's just like a regular game. They know what to expect. So without having the crowd, I think it would be easier for them because they're just like, oh, I was like, oh, this is just game.
It's like at the gym.
Even like with LeBron and all those like superstars you mentioned, I feel like it's easier for them.
Yeah. Well, there you go, man. We
Yeah.
could we can agree to disagree on certain things,
Hmm.
but it could go either way.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
go either way. Yeah.
could definitely go either way. I like it, man. Um, Last thing, man. So let's say, for instance, God forbid, but uh, next season comes around and COVID is still around. Would you guys want to see another NBA season like this? A full NBA season?
I just seeing sports in general. When there was no sports for that at the time being, it was like why even have TV? Honestly, like so just to see it sucks that there's no fans. It sucks that you can't go to a game. But I mean, just to watch it again, especially to watch the Warriors again, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Nice. Okay. What do you think, Tito?
I'm the same way because I can't afford the tickets anyway. So yeah, TV, whatever is fine. You
I don't even
know
know
what
how
I'm
to get one of those
saying?
Michelob seats. Like, damn.
You know what
To
I'm
be on
saying?
TV, just
So
like, yeah.
yeah, so it
Uh,
doesn't really basketball watching on TV doesn't really matter. Like you know what I'm saying? As long as we have sports and shit. So
Okay. G, what
that's
do you
how I
think, man?
feel.
Uh, I mean, I really don't want to see it because it's just like it's whatever. But I don't think it really matters as much. You are watching it on the TV as long as there's something to watch, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't really.
Yeah,
I'd
Uh,
rather just wait.
it's different. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't see I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird the way watching the game in a bubble. Like
oh, yeah. I wonder how it is in there too with that sound bite, like the crowd sound bite. Like that dude's a G, man. I don't know how but he kind of makes it seem like there's really a crowd there. I mean, I know they got their family there and stuff, and they got the players, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Especially like when AD was screaming, "It's over!" I'm like, "Who are you talking to? Who's screaming that?" Because
it's
he was
over.
looking he
Yeah,
was looking
looking
to talk.
somewhere.
Yeah, he was looking somewhere else. I'm like who is he looking at right now?
Hey, but one thing I noticed though with the camera work is whenever it like zooms in on them, they like look directly at the camera. I noticed that it's
Yeah,
hella weird, but yeah, it's been interesting. I'm glad they came back. I was excited to see basketball just in general myself personally. So I'm with you guys on that. At least we got something to watch. So a game that we all love, a game we all enjoy, and yeah, I can't wait to see our teams come back. Regardless, personally, I can't wait either way to see what happens next season with a lot of these different teams, but especially with my Dubs, our Dubs. I believe everybody here is a Dub fan. I don't know, but yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with all that. So that's gonna
what
be
I
some
would love
interesting.
to have though, like they have it uh uncensored. Like you know what I'm saying? Turn all the noise down. Just have the players
That's
talk.
what.
Hella dope.
That's kind of what Serge was saying too. He
You
wanted like
see that shit.
yeah.
some of these
Like
guys
That's what I
mic'd
thought.
up.
That's what I thought we were gonna hear. But they
yeah,
were like, "Nope, you ain't hearing what these motherfuckers saying." Yeah,
exactly. But that would be dope. Would be the
Yeah.
motherfucker like, get the fuck off here, like
You
doing
imagine?
that, like you know what I'm saying? You too little, like just talking shit. That was dope.
Well, they have. Have you guys ever watched the shoot around thing that they have,
Hmm.
like the pregame?
Yeah,
So I've seen that, and sometimes you can hear like the players talking, but it's not to the
yeah,
effect that you guys are talking about, like mic'd up,
hmm,
Yeah.
everybody mic'd up,
yeah,
or
yeah.
everybody just. That would be interesting. That'd definitely be something else. I think they had like a football league that did that, I believe. I can't remember which one it was. Feels like the XFL, but yeah, that'd be cool, man. There, you never know. There might be some changes. Tweet them or something. Tag the NBA on your
I just
Instagram
call
post.
him. I
or,
call him.
I
I
mean, yeah,
call
one of
him.
y'all got the number or so.
I call him getting enough fouls.
Exactly. Shoot, man. But hey, that was our post game, man. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add? Any shout outs, anything like that? G, you got any shout outs you want to throw out there?
Shoot, not at the moment, but it was fun to be here though. It was first time.
No,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
G was a little nervous until he seen himself on camera. Then he just got all like proud of himself.
I'm good. I got it.
Hey, T, you have anything you want to add, bro? Your shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out SVP. You know what I'm
SVP,
saying? Check him out. Silicon
Silicon
Valley
Valley
Panthers.
Panthers.
You
Yeah,
dig?
yeah,
And hey,
yeah.
one more thing. Clippers in 6.
This guy's still there,
Man, this
still with
guy
that.
still.
He ain't let it
Oh
go.
shit. Nope. I'm not gonna let it go.
uh, Sergio, you have anything you want to add, man? Any shout outs?
Nah, man, and it was fun. It was fun getting to talk about post game. Got everything, pretty much just watching it and then talking about it.
For sure.
You be sitting there trying to like, damn, wish I could talk to someone about this shit.
For real.
I actually had a
Yeah,
couple
so
people that wanted to jump on, but I wasn't able to. I'm still kind of new. Like I said, I know we use this thing a lot, but I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. So we'll figure it out next time. We'll have some more people on.
When's
Get
the
some
next
guest
game?
appearances.
Friday?
Is it
Friday?
yeah,
Friday next game?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another
Oh
one
man.
Friday. We got like
Yeah.
20 people up in this bitch.
Hey, why not, man? Why not?
You
It's
gotta
gonna be a
play with that.
Be
little
hella.
bit difficult to manage, but I don't mind. Go ahead, G. Serge, what do you say?
No, I'm saying as long as they don't have no game 7 talk shit like you, they can come.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little reach.
Yeah.
Hey, Tito like to throw something crazy in there.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start.
Cause it's
I'm gonna
fun.
start calling. I'm gonna start calling him Max Kellerman. Talking all that
Max
shit.
Kellerman. Skip, skip, skip.
The Hoop Lifestyle Max Kellerman. There you go, man. We're gonna have to change your name to that.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I don't know if I can. I might have to change it next time without telling you. Uh, Nah, hey, definitely, man. We could definitely do this again. Talking about the game is a lot of fun, and especially like hopefully, I'm hoping, man, that the game is a lot different the next time around. This
Mhm.
coming Friday, we'll see. But stay tuned, stay tuned. So
Yeah.
we got,
Hopefully everyone comes back.
yeah, hopefully everybody comes back and is able to get that game, and they're a little bit more
Before we
competitive.
go, man, I have one question. So 3 Heat got injured, right? Dragic, Butler, and Bam. So if one of them can't come back, who will be the biggest difference maker if they don't come back? Real quick. I just thought about that question right now.
Hmm.
Who
Which would
mean
be
the
the
difference?
difference
Like who's gonna make the difference or what?
if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
if
like
they
you know what I'm
came
saying.
back?
So yeah, who will be the big like if they if Jimmy doesn't come back with his ankle or whatever, would that hurt the team more? Or if Dragic doesn't come back with his leg, would that hurt the team more? Or Bam doesn't come back with it?
If Bam
Bam.
don't come back, cause they ain't got nobody to guard. They got no one
Yeah, I was
long
gonna
and
say,
long. They
The
got
man,
no
big
one
man.
long, tall, and long to do anything.
they gotta guard that paint, that pick and roll, that easy post up with AD. He's just eating those little guys up. So yeah, you gotta get Bam back to guard him. Even
Yeah,
though he can't guard AD, but at least like
Yeah, get in
down.
his way.
Yeah,
that's the
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
maker. Okay.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah,
All in
Bam. There you
agreement of
go.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is, man. There
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
Last question. I thought you was gonna come out a start bench cut almost at the end
Oh, he
there.
get hey, like let's do. He gave me one this like earlier today. So he gave me Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard with the Magic, and AD with the Lakers.
Okay, go ahead. We'll go with Gerardo first since he's never done a start bench cut. All right, so start bench cut. G. Who would you start? Who would you bench? And who would you cut? And I'll let Tito say it, but you gotta.
So all right, so it's Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard when he was with the Magic, and AD right now with the Lakers.
Remember, you gotta cut one. Start
I
one.
started AD, I benched Dwight, and I cut KG.
Ouch. Dad, leave him alone. Hey, end the episode.
Oh shit! Hey,
He don't
hey,
know.
cut it,
He
cut
don't
it.
know.
I was like,
He just don't
Hey,
know.
ah,
It was a trick
ah,
I
question.
don't.
There's only
Listen,
one answer.
ah.
I was like, I don't like KG. I don't. I just don't.
Whoa.
I just don't
Hey,
like him
hold
like
up.
that.
Let
Eric
me
just found a
See,
new
let
best
hey,
friend.
let me
hey,
mute him. I muted him for you. I muted him for
see,
you. Uh,
Oh
I'll
shit.
unmute him. I'll unmute him.
That was funny.
Uh,
Oh
That's a
man.
trick
I got a
question,
whole nother
G.
podcast for that one if y'all want to go for that.
Oh shoot, man. You
Yeah.
already know. You already know where I'm going, T. So I ain't even.
Yeah. Who you got though? Dwight or AD?
For me,
Yeah.
I'll go AD. Well, I'm gonna go AD start. I'll bench KG as an OG. And then I'm not big on Dwight. I'm not a big, especially on the.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just never been a real big Dwight guy. I mean, I like how he's
Okay.
playing now. I like his intensity now, but I
Hmm.
just that smile back then. I just take the game serious. I guess you
But you
could
gotta
say.
think about Orlando Dwight though.
That's what I was saying. Orlando Dwight.
Orlando
That's
Dwight,
the
like it was like the next Shaq,
I
bro.
guess
I'm telling you,
yeah.
yeah. I guess I
like
just never really looked at it.
watch them. Yeah, I looked at it like
But
shit.
I just you say AD now, and then I
Mhm.
can't. I'm not cutting KG. G.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
shoot. I
me,
was like, I'll take
I'm gonna
Dwight.
I'm gonna start KG, bench Dwight, and cut AD.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
What
I
you
was
got,
like,
Serge?
Just
look, I
imagine.
got,
Just put it this way. Put it this way. You know, you guys know how I feel about KG.
Yeah, yeah.
Serge, no, he knows, right? But can AD guard Dwight on his prime?
yes,
yeah.
No,
he had one
no.
move. He had one move.
Oh my, no. You seen?
All Dwight was do was hop steps to the middle and just jump hook it. If not, he just
Yep,
did his running hook,
exactly.
and that was pretty much it.
Before he hurt his
He,
back.
he,
That's
Dwight.
before he hurt
The
his
only
back.
reason I put Dwight on the bench is because he was a solid ass defensive player. If he would just play defense and pick and roll, you would win. But you know he don't want to do that because you know I don't know what's wrong with him.
I
If
think
you
it's
take
something
Dwight,
else.
Eastern Conference Finals, Dwight when he played LeBron to AD now, I think Dwight will eat him alive, man.
Let
He'll
Serge
punish
speak.
him.
We'll let Serge speak. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give Serge his time.
Yeah, shit. I go start AD, I bench Dwight, and then
Cut KG,
I
of
cut
course.
Pau Gasol, and then I kick KG out the league.
Of course.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot, man.
Oh shit! Hey, KG,
Let's be honest, KG was
get,
carried.
I'm gonna take KG to the D League.
I said KG had Rondo
Wow, no
and Paul
respect on
Pierce.
KG's name out here. It's all good. Look at he's still fighting to keep his headphones on.
Are
Yeah,
you telling
yeah.
me KG or Dwight can guard AD? Oh no.
Hell no.
He could even
We on the
imagine
same
if he stepped
team.
out for the three. If
We
if
starting one, we
he steps
benching the
out for the
other.
three, you really think center's gonna go guard the three?
Oh man, all right, man.
I was like,
Mhm.
AD just a real long ass guard. He looked he had a throw spurt.
KD just and then
Yeah, that's what AD gonna shoot over KG. He gonna be like,
yeah.
"Alright."
I won't
You guys
get-
are too young,
I-
man.
I won't-
Y'all didn't really watch KG with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right,
I'm
he was
gonna
a
just leave it at
beast.
that, bro.
Oh, so we taking Minnesota KG? I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, nah, man.
I was
We're
like-
talking about KG, like KG.
So
not
everybody
just
in
like,
their
you know.
primes, basically.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh,
that makes
yeah.
it.
We got a
Yeah,
better.
that's
VHS
always-
for you,
it's
Gerard. We
always
got a
gonna be fun.
VHS.
I was like,
KG was a dog. Like he was just unstoppable with Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
was
I'm
like, I
saying?
don't know. Those guys are about like 6'10",
So
6'7".
so
You
is
got
Kevin
7 foot
Love.
AD.
So was Kevin Love.
So was Kevin Love.
Fat Kevin
Where
Love.
are we going? What kind of star bench cut is this, man? See that? Hey, see that T? I was trying to cut it out. I was trying to end it here.
Yeah, you got to bring
Oh, yeah,
KG in
yeah.
this shit. Keep
That's what I'm
KG
saying.
out
Hey,
this
can we-
damn
Can
combo.
we talk about how LeBron underachieved too?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm playing. That's next episode, huh?
Next
Next
episode,
episode.
Friday. Friday on the Hoop Lifestyle Podcast. Stay
No,
tuned.
nah, I'm just trying to start something.
Hey, but hey, that was a good little start bench cut at the very end, man. We
Yeah,
gotta
or
add
like
that in
T-
for the
or
next
like
one.
T Mac, Vince Carter, or Harden, I mean, that's another episode too.
Another episode,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he already knows. Yeah, we need a whole nother hour for this shit.
Yeah, sorry, Vince. You're not
I
on
have a
my
feeling I'll see it in my
cut.
Instagram messenger or something. But we'll say, wait, we'll leave it at that. Stay tuned for the next episode. You know what I'm saying? I think I think it's a good possibility. We'll do another post game, man. It's just fun
Hmm.
talking about the game. Fun talking about what's going on. Like I said, hopefully it's a little bit the outcome of the game in general throughout the whole thing is a little bit more more entertaining, I guess you could say, because like I said, I kind of cut mine off a little short, but yeah, it was good talking with you guys about it. If you want to be featured on the next podcast where we talk about post game, make sure you leave a comment, like, hit us up in the messenger, man, and we get you on here, man. But this is for Gerardo, aka Fundamental G, Coach's Corner Tito, and GIG EYNT. Yeah, GIG. There you go. Okay, yeah, Gorilla Gridiron. I got Serge here with us too, man. So I appreciate you guys jumping on and talking about the game. And yeah, we
Sure.
signing out, man. We signing
Yes,
out.
sir.
Deuces, y'all have a
Peace.
good night.
All right.
Peace.
Clippers in
Yeah.
6. Clippers in 6.
Shut the
Clippers.
Oh man.